Welcome back to TechKidFX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Polygon Matic, whose current price stands at the $1.0413 mark, and here on TradingView the market is down by 7.21%, and this is after seeing a green day yesterday. And in this video I want to give you the key scenarios that I expect to play out, basing my analysis on the Elliot structures, the Fibonacci's, the key areas of support and resistances, and also draw out any key chart pattern that you have information on this chart. And I'll kickstart the video by giving a brief of what has been happening on this chart. Polygon Matic from the all-time high had been seeing lower prices in this massive ABC corrective movement, which has now taken us back to around the $0.32 mark, and in that movement I believe Polygon Matic has done the minimum that we expected it to do in its ABC corrective movement, and very soon we are going to see that bounce to the upper side, obeying this Elliot structure, having our wave 5 taking us back to an all-time high in the next bull market. And before we get to an all-time high, we first need to see that first wave to the upper side, and I believe that is what we have been seeing here on the Polygon Matic chart, and you have completed that first wave to the upper side. And my primary scenario here on this chart is that now we are in the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 2 over here, and once you see the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 2, I'll be expecting the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 3. And jumping to the 4-hour chart for further analysis, here on the 4-hour chart you can see I have this Elliot wave structure in yellow, which is a fractal wave within that first wave to the upper side, and that is because the first wave is an impulsive wave, and we also expect to see fractal waves in formation within that first wave to the upper side. And if I get a little bit into the details of the formation of this Elliot wave structure that I have here in yellow, you can see after making our low down there, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, seeing the high for that first wave, and after seeing the high for that first wave, we saw a very nice retracement over here in the formation of a second wave. Then after making the low for that second wave, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of that wave 3, making its peak at around the $1.06 mark. And after seeing the peak for that wave 3, we saw a very nice retracement over here in the formation of a wave 4, which perfectly retraced into this red target area that I have here on the charts between the $0.82 mark and the $0.66 mark. And that target area, I'm basing it on the Fibonacci's, because a fourth wave is a retracement of the wave 3. I came up with that minimum retracement area using the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the low of that wave 2 to the high of that wave 2. And after retracing into that target area and making our low for that wave 4 at around the $0.69 mark, we saw a very nice impulsive movement to the upper side in the formation of that wave 5, and that is what was completing that higher Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side. And because a wave 5 to the upper side is also an impulsive wave, I also expected to see fractal waves in formation within that fifth wave to the upper side, and you can see that structure right here in this Elliot wave structure that I have over here in this blue Elliot wave structure, having this as the first wave to the upper side, then a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and then a wave 5. And before I get into the analysis using that Elliot wave structure that we have right there, it's good that I show you the key chart patterns that we had in formation over here. In the formation of that fourth wave, we had been trading within this channel, and we found support at around the $0.78 mark, and after finding support over there, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, managing to break out of the channel to the upper side. We even had a retest of the upper side of the channel, and after the retest we continued pushing higher, making our peak at around the $0.96 mark in the formation of a wave 3, then retraced in the formation of a wave 4, then continued pushing higher in the formation of this fifth wave to the upper side. And within this fifth wave to the upper side over here, you can see we have been seeing a pullback over here after making our peak at around the $1.3 mark. And if I zoom out on this chart and use the Fibonacci, that is the trend based Fibonacci, to get to see whether that first wave to the upper side has done the minimum that we expected it to do in its in that movement to the upper side, using the trend based Fibonacci, connecting it from the low of that first wave to the high of the first wave, then dragging the fibs to the high of that wave 3. You can see that first wave to the upper side went to around the $1.3 mark, and using the trend based Fibonacci, the minimum target area was at around the $1.25 mark, and that is at the fib level 0.618. so that means our first wave has done the minimum that we expected it to do, and even went above the target area a little bit, and now we are seeing a bit of a pullback in what I can now term as a retracement to the lower side in the formation of these higher Elliott wave count 2, and using the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the low of that first wave to the high of that first wave, I get a minimum target area to the lower side in the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 2 between the fib level 0.5 and the fib level 0.618, and I can mark that target area here on the charts like that, which perfectly lies between the $0.81 mark and the $0.69 mark. And if I remove the Fibonacci's and then zoom in, you can see that Polygon Matic has come down into that target area, though we only touched the target area. Then yesterday we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side once more, managing to break above the key area of resistance at around the $0.95 mark. And before I get into the formation of this second wave, we also had another chart pattern that was in formation right here, that is supporting that movement to the lower side in the formation of this higher Elliott wave count 2. And if I draw it out, we can have these as the first top of that double top. Then we have seen the formation of the neckline, then continued pushing higher in the formation of the second top, and we have seen a breakout out of this chart pattern to the lower side. And this is a chart pattern that normally breaks to the lower side, having the target area of that breakout as the height between the tops and the neckline. So using a trend line, we can get that height and then place it down here below the neckline to give us a minimum target area back to around the $0.97 mark. And you can see we have seen that breakout to the lower side, and in that movement we also lost a key area of support at around the $0.95 mark, then saw a reaction of the fib level 0.618 over here, and that's why we are seeing this massive pump to the upper side, making our peak back at around the $1.16 mark. And because a second wave is a corrective wave, I also expect to see an ABC corrective movement play out over here, and I believe that is what we are seeing over here, having this as the wave A, making our low at around the $0.76 mark. Then this peak that we are seeing over here, this is what is forming a wave B. Then I'm expecting another retracement, lose that key area of support at around the $0.95 mark to fully maximize our target area down here in the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 2. And once we see the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 2 come to an end within this target area, then we can start sketching out an impulsive movement to the upper side in the formation of a higher Elliott wave count 3. So let's be patient and see how that plays out. And my primary scenario that I expect to play out here on the Polygon Matic chart is that we are still coming a little bit lower into this target area. So there is a possibility that we might continue unlocking lower prices, lose that key area of support, and once we lose that key area of support, we can even have a retest of that key area of support and continue pushing lower to fully maximize our target area down here before we see that bounce to the upper side. Also taking a look at the indicators to see what movements will be supported here on the RSI. On the RSI, we are trading at around the 50 mark, meaning we have massive room for us to support any movements to the lower side before we get into the oversold region. Also taking a look at the MACD. Here on the MACD, we had printed a bullish cross, and that was yesterday after seeing that bounce to the upper side, managing to break above that key area of resistance. But in case we lose the momentum over here, there's a possibility of us printing a bearish cross, and that would support lower prices to fully maximize our target area in the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 2. And that's the update for Polygon Matic.